Hey, it's Chris. We are super excited. Duran Duran is coming to Sacramento. So, to talk to somebody about that, we thought, let's get one of the guys on the line here. John Taylor, bass guitarist and founding member of Duran Duran.
Hey,
Welcome.
Chris. Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be a founder.
Gosh, I saw you well, let's go back to the early days. I know you got together and the band got together in 1978. So as a guy that graduated high school in 1985, I was right there in the thick of it. I was a
Right.
high school DJ back then. And
Uh-huh.
I should have brought my vinyl in and I would have, could have held up my vinyl and, like you've never had a radio DJ do that, but kept all my vinyl. And it was just a special time. And last year I got to relive it in Columbus, Ohio. You guys had come out and done a Wonderbus Music and Arts Festival. So I got to relive your music last year. An incredible show. You're coming back on the road. It's you got the new music. You got Nile Rodgers and Chic and Bastille with you. You already started doing some shows in the UK, right? Earlier this year?
No, this UK tour is in end of April.
Okay, I saw that. I thought there was a couple January shows that you did. No. Okay, so that's starting here in just a couple of months in April. You'll start there.
Yes.
What can you tell us about the new show that you've put together?
Well, firstly, it's a big bill. We've got Bastille coming. We've got Nile Rodgers and Chic. And, if I don't know the last time that Nile and Chic were in Sacramento, but they are a phenomenal band. I mean, I'm as passionate for an advocate of that band as I am for my own. If you've never seen them, you're not going to see anything quite like this again. They are a monster funk band, and that's really and I just always feel so blessed to have them on the show with us. Duran, I mean, we've been doing this a while ourselves, and like you mentioned, the Future Past album. I mean, that came out about 18 months ago. Duran is we've always been a little bit like, there's been a sense of legacy, but there's also this sense of the future about what informs Duran Duran's music. I mean, we're entertainers first, and it's our job to make the people dance, and to get I wouldn't be lying if I didn't say everyone. There's a lot of choices out there. There's a lot of bands that are coming through, a lot of artists coming through this summer, and everybody wants to be back on tour, post COVID, and but we do nobody does what we do. And we've been plowing this furrow. I didn't think I'd ever use that phrase, but since the early 80s, and we stayed, I think we stayed true to our values, and we just believe in giving everyone a good time. We're a good time band, and it's one of those, live concerts they're just so important, aren't they? We just get to stand together with people we'd never usually mix with, and we get to dance and sing along dumb songs, and have a great time. And it doesn't matter, where you're from or what your background or your political affiliation is, music brings us together.
It does. And that was the experience of seeing you guys last summer when I saw you in Columbus, Ohio, and we were all dancing, and I jotted down some of the songs I remembered you guys doing. Of course, you've sold over 100 million albums, so I can't list all the hits you guys have had, but, Girls on Film and Hungry Like the Wolf and Rio and The Reflex. A View to Kill, and then you did Union of the Snake and New Moon on Monday and Wild Boys, and then you guys kind of took a break, right, and came back to do Ordinary World and Come Undone in the 90s. And what can you tell us about the Future Past album, the new music that we'll get to experience as well?
Well, this was an album that was started before COVID. I mean, whenever we start an album, excuse me, which is about once every 5 years, what we're trying to do is we're trying to make a classic Duran Duran music that speaks to our fans of many years, but also, sounds like, we've got a clue about what's going on in the contemporary music scene. And, what can we take? We're magpies. What can we absorb from, the latest, SZA, Harry Styles, whomever it is, what's going on over there that, hey, can we take a little bit of that sound and incorporate it into what we do? And that keeps things fresh for us. This particular album is a real journey. I feel like it is a real journey into the past, actually. There's a lot of homages in there. There's homages to punk rock. Susie and the Banshees are in there. Giorgio Moroder and like sort of electronic dance music is in there. You know, there's like house music. There's future pop in there. There's like you know, what do they call it? Bedroom pop in there. You know, there's all sorts of things. And that's just what happens when you stick us in a studio for 18 months. There's a lot of different ideas that are going to come out, and then we've got to try to sort of sculpt it into something that makes listening sense. You know, that you could. I mean, I call me old-fashioned, but I still think in terms of an album. For me, you know, my love of music, you know, began in my bedroom. You know, when and there was nothing more treasured to me than the first albums that I owned. You know, it was one thing to buy a single, you know, but then, you know, buying an album and, you know, bringing this thing into my home, into my room, you know, like a David Bowie album from the early 70s, where like you'd like conjure up the spirit of this guy and his world in my little bedroom in suburban Birmingham. And that experience that I had, you know, really led me to want to do that for other people, you know, to create this world. And, you know, and Future Past is, you know, for better or worse, it's the world of Duran Duran for 45 minutes, you know, and to go on this journey that is what we're about, you know.
18 months you worked on this album. Wow. That's
well, 18 months plus the 10 months that we took out for COVID, you know. I mean, that was the first time that had ever happened. And strangely enough, I mean, as weird as it was at the time, because we would never, ever choose to say, hey, let's take a time out, fellas. Let's take 10 months off this project. We would never do that. But, you know, we had no choice in the matter. But there was something really, well, something that happened, I guess, really in lockdown, you know, and my vow to music became so much more stronger during when it was taken away, you know, and none of us could have that experience of going to concerts together and standing in a field and dancing and singing, whatever. I thought, man, it's really important. You know, it's really important that we do that and everybody else in my business does it, you know, because, you know, we all need that, you know, and I couldn't get back into the studio fast enough. I was like, guys, we've got to get this album done. We've got to get back on the road. We've got to be part of the reunification of the human race. Not to get too, you know, like highfalutin about it, but it kind of did feel like that, you know?
Yeah. It did so much for us that all that you recording artists did. I mean, when we couldn't go to concerts anymore, and I thought about how you couldn't tour, and you know, it was a really tough time, but so many people went back in the studio and got creative, and that energy was just, you know, channeled in a different way. And, you know, we get to celebrate that together. We look forward to doing that in Sacramento. I know for VIP, the tickets are already on sale. For everyone else, Thursday, these tickets are going on sale at livenation.com. You guys are coming in to play the Golden One Center. People can go to duranduran.com to get more on this. You know, we mentioned earlier how you're coming in with Nile Rodgers and Chic and Bastille. Thinking back to those Chic songs. I mean, that's going to be, talk about dancing, Good Times and La Freak and I Want Your Love. And
forget about it, man. I mean, it's a party. It's a party.
So, you know? Have you done shows with them before?
Yes, a lot. But we've never brought it to Sacramento before.
Awesome.
And we have a very special connection, you know, with that band. And I mean, there's no one else I'd rather play with than Nile and Chic.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, I know that you were kicking off the North American tour actually in San Jose, May 28th, but we'll get you in Sacramento, August 24th. Tickets on sale again at Golden One Center. You want to jump on their site. That'll be Thursday, this Thursday, livenation.com. Actually go there, livenation.com, this Thursday, February 16th to get your tickets for Duran Duran at the Golden One Center. And John, thank you for your time today. Again, it was so wonderful seeing you last summer, and wow, I get to see you again this year. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Thanks.
We'll welcome you with open arms here in Sacramento in a few months.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time, John. Thank you.